Demand for charcoal, a primary source of energy for cooking in many households in urban and peri-urban areas in Ghana, is steeply ascending. The driving force is the continuous surge in the price of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. But there are new uncertainties among some consumers and retailers as the price of the commodity in Ghana soars. GBCNEWS reporter Clara Mlano has engaged some suppliers, retailers and consumers in the capital on the current state of the charcoal business.
Despite the increase in demand for charcoal, suppliers complained that the fuel price hike is affecting their business. For many years, charcoal has been a major source of cooking and heating to about 60% of households in Ghana, partly because it is readily available, easier to get, and being a commodity that almost every average Ghanaian pocket can afford. Again, charcoal is the most popular barbecue fuel, whether commercial or domestic.
First, I used charcoal to prepare my food. First, it was less expensive, but now the price has gone higher.
First, 5 dollars inside and shut down because I'm managing it.
It's a week to use it, did you say?
Oh, I didn't use it, they are now 50. It's not much right.
LPG was introduced in Ghanaian households as the best option or preferred energy source of cooking and check to deforestation. Now, affordability is a challenge. As of November 16, 2022, a kilo of LPG sold at 16 cedis and some pesos.
The 6 kilos, we now sell it 100 Ghana cedis. And then the 14 is 239 Ghana cedis, and the 13 is 240. And then the 3 is 49 Ghana cedis. Yes, that is the price now. As at February this year, we were selling the 14.5, 120 Ghana cedis. I say that is the standard that we use ahead. That is 120. And as at now, we are selling it 239, or double the price. And somewhere February, the liter is 20 pesos per kilo.
Hopefully 13 kg now. Almost 100 and something. But within 2 weeks, I call almost 200 and something. It's too much. The best I say, I can't bit my gap wire. On your non farm way, I can sell a better gas. No, yeah, you use what? Don't know if you are never feel. Yes, a bit, Mama, then see any man above, and I got Nangata Pessin and Nangata. It's been last.
The reason has shifted focus to other energy sources of cooking. At the beginning of the year 2022, a maxi bag of charcoal had a national average price of 50 cedi, with the mini selling for 45 cedis. By November 16, 2022, the same commodity in Accra was going for between 130 and 150 cedis at retail price.
First, nani hiyo naka 2-in-1 ni maana no me I feel 30 cedis. She be na 105 or so. She first no me ka bi no beshka ko ka te o ba fit mo 20 cedis. Man you used to 1 month. She be an anything hour. They come come home in the best and my 5 cedis, I lose 7 cedis. My use. All I can gas sell a passion. Be an no cook man no be if you ready. She ngai pako ka o soon. You come wa. E chodan e chon. You come nwe ka ona no me ni echi ele be an no. Dan e ba chen na no ka ba ma no. Ba hit ka ni me. She gas ele be an no be do. Ko enu ele ko wa wa.
The commodity is also a key livelihood base for some households. The traders' beef is that the sharp increase in fuel prices and transport fares is gradually affecting the once lucrative trade.
Difference here, me may be a lady or being because Nakata may happily how won I identify couple to on up way. She be a common I now. In our home 1 million. But more home 1.2. If we are nearly come on by here, I know Jenny or 4 on Halley. Hey. You are 4 Jenny or 4 hammer. The Nini here, Bobaton. Come home to an share where profit me or nigh enemy a few way. As I know her enemy. Otealova. In I delight in my chum. Was square petrol whom me honey lorry fair because I fell lorry fair for me. I hear 45, Moko make 50. If you only akenganye etu. Iwoke lorry fare bashi ekwenganye hu babashi.
There's a likelihood that the price of charcoal may go up before the end of the year. Consumers want the government to intervene to lower and maximize the burden on households. Clara Mlano, GBC News, Accra.
And so the rising cost of LPG currently has given rise to urban charcoal consumption. Tree cutting and charcoal production are set to contribute heavily to forest degradation and deforestation. The high demand for charcoal and its impact on forest cover is an impediment to global efforts at regreening the environment and mitigating climate change. Joining us via Zoom to discuss the issue is Mr. Darrell Bonsu of Arusha, Ghana. Good afternoon to you, Darrell. Good afternoon, Darrell, if you can hear me. Hello, Darrell. So there appears to be a shift from LPG to charcoal because of the rising price of LPG. This should be a temporary issue, but should we have concerns? Should we be alarmed around this time?
Good afternoon to you, my brother. And I think the issue about Ghana's, or I'll say households' dependency on charcoal is not, I'll say, solely due to the increasing price of LPG. Charcoal has for a long time been a part of our energy mix, particularly for domestic use, for cooking and heating. And I think along the way, there was effort by the government to try and see how we can diversify that and make sure that there are other opportunities for households to have other sources of energy. And that's how come we saw how good and strategic that we move household cooking and heating to LPG gas. But like you said, as time has seen, some of the pricing for LPG has increased significantly. Supplies has not been stable. And just as it has always been the case, charcoal production and need depends also on the natural ecosystem. So as prices of LPG go up and also we see more higher demand for charcoal, we are going to see also more pressure on the natural ecosystem where charcoal production comes from. So I think that is the current issue we have to deal with. And the fact that charcoal comes from the natural stock is also an issue that we all need to be mindful of. One good thing about the fact is that it's a natural resource, it's a renewable natural resource. We get charcoal from trees. And so we can decide to also take action to really address this increasing demand by, setting up more production, I would say, stock, like woodlots, to enable people to have more access to charcoal as prices of LPG goes up.
Right. So I was going to ask you what we should do. Certainly, this is it defeats our fight against climate change. But really, talking about price, what should we do so that the ordinary Ghanaian has access to LPG, does not resort to charcoal? Briefly before you go, Darrell.
Yes, I think the issue about pricing, which is something that needs to be dealt with at the government level, also has to do with supply. So if you get more gas, then they can be supplied. But the issue is that prices are going up because there are shortages is also the supply side.
Right.
And it's also been attributed to a lot of the ongoing war in Russia and Ukraine, the supplies coming from Nigeria as well. We can also look at our own oil fields and see how we can try to get the gas coming from these fields to our homes. And this is where the problem is. So until we really deal with the supply side challenges, the price of LPG is going to stay up, and it's also going to pose challenges for us in our action to really stop deflation as a result of increasing production of charcoal.
Right. So Darrell,
and I say that it is.
Darrell, I'm afraid we have to end the conversation here. And so Darrell Bonsu is of Arusha, Ghana, speaking